Bitcoin's price surged to $21,285, an increase of 22% weekly. Trader Gareth, who has been predicting a $9,000 to $10,000 Bitcoin price for months, recently expressed skepticism about Bitcoin's sudden surge, reminding everyone that even though he predicted 9K Bitcoin to happen in mid-2023, many commentators are calling this upsurge a classic bear dilemma and for the bulls not to get too excited. In the lead-up to the disaster, he also called for a rally.
Again, we have to kind of keep in mind that that's going to be a headwind. Then you throw in the fact that I don't think the stock market has bottomed as well. And if we see more downside in risk assets, then we could also see Bitcoin under pressure. So all these things will push it down. But the question is, at what point does it bottom? And I think the biggest thing is, like, even with me saying 9,000-ish, I'm not waiting for 9,000 to start accumulating. In fact, I've already accumulated a small amount, because if we don't hit 9,000, I don't want to be left holding zero when we start our way back up. So what I'm doing is basically I'm spacing out my buys. Every 3,000 down, I'm just buying the equivalent of like a 1/6 position equaling a 6/6. And essentially that gives me that ability to dollar cost average in all the way down. Even if it goes to like 5,000, I'll still dollar cost average in down there.
Investor secrecy preserves Plan B's radical reorientation. In a series of tweets, the Dutch investor argued that Bitcoin is not a bull trap, but rather at the start of a bull run. To know more about Plan B's thoughts, just keep on watching here at Market Empire. With a graphic of the Wall Street psychology of the market cycle cheat sheet attached, Plan B tweeted their skepticism that this was a bull trap. The cheat sheet for Wall Street explains the human element in market cycles. The market fluctuates and cycles, and this is common knowledge. Investors go through the same 8 emotional states repeatedly: disbelief, hope, optimism, belief and thrill, euphoria, complacency, anxiety and denial, panic, capitulation, anger, and depression. His backup plan chimed in on his initial tweet to explain that the tone of his disbelief reply was ironic. A satirical tweet from Plan B read, "I am hearing this is a bull trap a lot. And it reminds me of this is a sucker's rally in my opinion, and based on the data I see, we are at the early start of the next bull market." The 10,000 to 12,000 participant pool may have been taken off the surprise and inactive by the recent bull run. Plan B assumes that as the price continues to rise, more and more people will be put off buying for practical and emotional reasons. Plan B provided his forecast for 2023 and some clarifications in tweets the day before. Nonetheless, he now thinks we are in the early phases of a bull run, as he previously stated. To be clear, in my opinion, current Bitcoin pump is not a bull trap, but the early start of the next bull run. This comment was replied by a retweet. My 2 SATs on Bitcoin price November 2022 low of 15.5K was the bottom. BTC has crossed short-term holder and will rise into 2024 halving and subsequent 2024 bull market. Several on-chain signals confirm the STH signal. 2024 halving will be greater than 32K. 2025 bull market greater than 100K. Indicators like Bitcoin's RSI strengthening are essential to the optimism of Plan B. Since the start of 2021, the indicator has been trending downwards under a descending resistance line.
RSI. We see that the RSI is getting stronger, that Bitcoin is getting stronger. Of course, the Bitcoin pumped above 20K, and if we make the chart a little bit bigger, we see this nice little jump off the lows of 40 to 45. So it's still not above 50, which would imply an uptrend. It's still below 50, downtrend, but we're getting there. It's a bottom signal. And note that the RSI, of course, is an index between 0 and 100. And the normal range for a normal asset would be between 30 and 70. But for Bitcoin, that's a little bit higher. It's between 40, 45, and 90, 95. So it's, it's really the question now, indeed, if this pump is a bull trap and we go down again, or if this is the beginning of a next bull market, which I think it is. Okay. Next chart. It's an important one. Some people did not understand my January 12th prediction. And I want to be very clear about it. It's not only that I was calling a bottom and some far away 2024, 2025 Bitcoin prices. I'm saying that we're currently in the next bull run, that the next bull run has started, so that this is not a bull trap, but a bull market. And yeah, I want to be very clear about that. All right, next tweet. The Wall Street cheat sheet. The Wall Street cheat sheet is not a template. So I see people overlaying the current price over this stylish picture, but it's not meant like that. It's about the stages, and it's actually the stages of the grief cycle, but then projected for investors on a hypothetical price cycle, a bull and a bear market. So the question is, where are we in this cycle? Most people say, based on a projection of the current price on this thing, that we're somewhere here in the anger phase. I don't think that's true. I think we're in the disbelief phase. Why? Because there's a lot of narrative about the bull trap, the topic of this video. And that's very typical for the disbelief phase, because people are so used to going down, and every little pump up is a fake one, is a bull trap, and then we go down again. So people are trained now, especially the newer investors, that a real bull market is not in the cards, and that this is another bull trap. But yeah, I don't think it is, but it's good to know that more than half of the people is thinking we're somewhere here. Those, of course, are also the people with money on the sideline, waiting for 10K. And that's, in my opinion, an expensive bet, but okay, because we need the counter trade as well, right? We need people selling, because otherwise we couldn't buy this stuff. And the cheat sheet. Next sheet is on-chain. Blue switch to green. I make it bigger. Blue switch to green in this current pump above 20K. And the color here is, again, something totally different from RSI that we saw earlier, or the months until the halving. In this time, it's Bitcoin, a percentage of Bitcoin in profit. And that's on-chain Bitcoin. So real Bitcoin, not paper Bitcoin on exchanges or some other promises on future markets, etc. Real Bitcoin on-chain. And on-chain, there is 70% of the Bitcoins in profit at the moment. Note that wallet reorganization, so if you transfer Bitcoins on-chain to your own wallet, from your wallet to your own wallet, that's also measured as a transaction. So that creates some noise, but that noise was the same in, every year in the last 14 years. So we have to live with that noise. I think it's okay. I think the clear signal is that if blue turns to green, like here or here, that was a little fake out, but then it went again. And here, when blue turns to green, that's an indication of the bottom, an indication of the start of the next bull run. We filled the FTX gap. Now let's do the Luna gap. In this chart, we see a lot of things actually. Date on the x-axis, price on the y-axis, color axis. Again, very different than everything we've seen before. It's MVRV. It's the market value divided by the realized value. Basically the Bitcoin price divided by the realized price. And also on this chart is the 200-week moving average. So there's a lot of information in this chart. And the main thing is that we crossed the realized price at 20,000. We're still below the 200-week moving average, which is about 25,000. And that's the next target.
Whether we are in the shock phase or the fury phase, Plan B wanted to reassure his 1.8 million Twitter followers that the information they get there is information. Never put more money at risk than you can afford to lose. And don't base your financial decisions solely on tweets about stocks and market data. To what extent do you agree with Plan B's tweets? Where do you put us right now, in disbelief or anger? Do we finally have the beginning of the bull run? Leave a comment with your ideas below, and we appreciate you tuning in to Market Empire. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.